Hi, I'm Vark Gaming. I was scrolling on Blue Sky instead of editing or doing anything productive ever, and I stumbled upon Peak, Miku Mace, and Miku Totem texture pack. So I did the only reasonable thing and immediately slid into the DMs of the friend of the dude who made the pack and said, Miku dayo, give me Miku. Then they gave me Miku and I kicked my feet and giggled while adding it. Okay, confession, I have never gotten a Mace or Totem of Undying or anything like that outside of creative mode because I'm one of those losers who play on peaceful or easy and play the game like a farming simulator. So in this video, I'm going to quit being a coward and get the Miku Mace. And also Totem, but I'm more focused on the Mace right now. Let's get into it! After making the seed very great and making the name just as awesome, I spawn into the world. Immediately I start trying to get the tools and armor as soon as possible. I got an iron sword, but then remembered I'm playing Java Edition and not Bedrock, so I switched to using an axe. A waste of iron, but at least I'll have an extra weapon on hand if my axe breaks. There was a problem I found pretty quickly. No animals were spawning aside of foxes and rabbits. This was bad for obvious reasons. No sheep means no wool, which means no bed. No pigs mean no pork, which naturally means no meat. The same applies to cows, sheep, and chickens. So I ran to where I thought they would spawn, the nearby taiga biome. No meat to be found there, although I could have just eaten the rabbits, that would have just been a huge hassle, and I'd be losing more hunger than I'd gain. Bro, where's all the food? At this point, I'll take actual berries. Oh, there we go. Okay, got berries, but certainly not enough to survive on it, as that spot became empty way too quick, and I for some reason didn't consider taking some more with me. Then it became night. Not good. The zombies worked as a good food source though, even if I almost died in the process of fighting them. And I also smelted a little bit of iron I got in these stone hills or whatever they're called and just hid the whole night since I knew I'd just be punched in the face with defeat real quick if I tried to fight anything with 3 hearts left and very little regeneration. I thought the mace was crafted with iron, but apparently it's crafted from stuff from the trial chambers. Little fact about me, I suck at fighting stuff. Attacking passive mobs? That's fine, but the second that you become able to fight back, I'm cooked. So armor will have to be a priority if I want to keep my undead life. There are 2 ingredients needed for the mace, a heavy core and a breeze rod. Breeze rods come from the breeze mob. To explain what a breeze is, it's like the blaze mob, but if it was flying type instead of fire type. So basically not notable at all. The other item, the heavy core, is a bit more difficult since it comes as a drop from the ominous vault, with only a 7.5% chance of even being gotten. So this will be a bit of a pain for me, but you know, it's from Miku, so it's fine. Now, trial chambers are, from what I'm aware, underground. Problem, right? Nah. We got modern day tech. Plugged the seed into chunk base. Trial chambers are a lot more common than I thought they'd be, wow. After locating one close by, I dig or mine down to it and prepare the spot where I will be dropping in. A fair bit of off-camera mining, I finally get the confidence to step into the trial chambers for the very first time. Or at least I would if it weren't for the fact that in order to get an ominous trial spawner, you need the bad omen effect, which can only be gotten by pillager captains. So back to chunk base we go. Located a pillager tower, or whatever they're called, and there we go to track one down. It's fine, I needed to go outside to collect string for a bow anyway. No real need for one, I just like having a ranged option. Sometimes a ranged attacker is better than one born for melee. I decided to tunnel into the base. It just felt better to dig straight into the place. It always feels better to sneak into the enemy's location and attack by surprise. Except I kind of splicketed it up here and got caught by one of the folk. I covered the hole up and got the pillager off my case pretty quickly though. You saw nothing. You are hallucinating. Why would there be a pigment in the overworld, eh? After a long enough time for me to complain on Blue Sky, I get my first bad omen potion. Alright, time to get like a gazillion more of these. I got sidetracked and looted a village and also made a nether portal that I may never use in the future along with a bunch of other things. Oh, and by the way, if you see any changes to the scenery or environment like a nether portal or more space being made to this little hole I made, it's because this is all taking course over both multiple real life days and multiple Minecraft days. The footage you're seeing is like less than 2% of the footage I got. I played a lot and got sidetracked a lot, basically. Anyway, we got a bunch of bad omen potions now, Except, of course, we still aren't done preparing. I was going to start brewing potions, but after finding out that requires nether wart and blaze powder, I decided against it for now and just got a bunch of golden apples instead. For some reason, I was acting as if I was going to fight the Ender Dragon instead of just a bunch of slime, zombies, and the blaze you find on Temu. Okay, I got the golden apples, the bad omen potions, the diamond key that I'm too lazy to enchant, and a bunch of food. We have everything I think we need, so we are done preparing and we finally step into the trial chambers. It's just an overworld structure, how bad could it be? I said to myself while wishing I'd gotten more golden apples. I then got hit with this sound effect and got the fear of God struck into me. But this video had to be made somehow, so I stepped in. Hey, Fart, why isn't the advancement for finding the trial chamber showing up? You might be wondering, and that's because I accidentally got it while doing stuff off camera. Turns out mining brick blocks while searching for a trial chamber just does that. Anyway, yeah, so I go into the trial chambers for the first time, and you may not know this about me, but I hate silverfish. I find them annoying and hard to deal with due to their size. The 2 of the 4 trial chambers I came across had them. Not great. The other 2 was a zombie one and a bogged one. This was my first time dealing with the bogged mob, and man, it's hard. But hard in a kind of fun way, not as in the silverfish way. I was not prepared for this, or at least not as much as I thought I'd be. I unfortunately went back to my cowardly ways and turned on peaceful, let myself recover, and then turned it back onto easy. I also did this repeatedly. Found out the breeze mobs are great, actually, very good. Not as bad as I thought they were. Oh, yeah, I am not dealing with that. They can open doors? I'm sorry for what I said about you being just an obsolete version of Breeze. I'm sorry that I said you were the Breeze that are found on Etsy and Temu. I then eventually just set it on to peaceful once I figured I got enough ominous trial keys, just to give myself a breather after almost dying repeatedly. I opened 2 vaults, didn't get what I needed though. I then also fell onto a stalagmite. No breaks for me apparently. That's when I started stressing out big time because I didn't have keep inventory on and I didn't do well with time stuff. I got my items back, luckily. The immediate loss of stress left me really tired, so I just gone back to base. I didn't even know zombie pigmen could get tired, but I sure was. It was best I left anyway. My chestplate and leggings had broken, I had run out of golden apples, and I just generally wasn't as prepared for the chambers as I thought I was. I then forgot to continue making this video and played Cobblemon with my best friend for multiple days straight. Whoops. Anyway, I got full enchanted diamond gear in that server and that inspired me to do the same for this world. And now through the power of off-camera mining and touching a lot of in-game grass, I now have cows and sugarcane, which means leather, paper, and of course enchantment tables. After making my enchantment table, I made a mob farm that didn't even work and spent like an hour sitting there waiting for mobs to spawn. I got it figured out though, and it was the best mob farm I think I've ever had. Genuinely, it was so good it put the spider spawner one I made on the Cobblemon server to shame. I spent multiple real-life days trying to get my enchantments perfect. I then messed up and ruined my sword. This got me upset enough to make a jobless villager become a librarian just so I can get what I want. I spent even more days trying to get it willing to give me sharpness 5. It gave me a deal of a whole stack of emeralds and a book for it. But that's because I verbally, emotionally, and physically hurt it repeatedly. It was mad at me, so my brain went, hey, winning raids make prices go higher. Maybe they'll lower the price if I do one? I spent a few minutes walking around trying to figure out why no raid was spawning. Turned out I left peaceful on like a dweeb, and after that it was right to battling. I didn't think this would have been hard, and honestly it was not. Even with my sword that only had looting 3, I handled it really well. No evokers came, unfortunately, because I had the mode on easy and didn't know that prevented evokers from coming. So after reaping the benefits of being the hero of the village, clearing out my inventory bit, selling a bunch of sticks, and just improving my sword a teeny tiny bit, you know, just a little bit, just an inch, barely any changes, I started on the raid. I was going to get that totem. I did not want to go into the trial chambers without it. Plus, it was mentioned in the title of this video and also maybe the thumbnail, I don't really know yet. So to prevent clickbaiting y'all, I needed it for that too. For some reason, the pillagers this time decided staying in ice was awesome, and they trapped themselves. Repeatedly. For some reason it only actually got hard with the Vexes out, but that barely mattered because we got that totem, baby! The Vexes swarmed me like wasps and was also the things that killed me in the ice earlier. But while getting attacked for a second time, I realized something. I had 2 totems at this point. I didn't really need more. So I just switched on peaceful for a second to clear them out. Sure, this meant I wasn't gonna get the hero of the village effect, but that wasn't what I was after, so it's chill. After dealing with the Minecraft equivalent of what lies in my uncle's closet, I decided that I needed better armor. Having a banger sword with a really awesome name is cool and all, but that won't really help when getting bombarded at every single angle. So I spent even more time grinding. Most of my time was just spent grinding, to be honest, but that's what you gotta do when you have a specific objective like me. And with the totems and far better armor, I came back to the chambers. I had brought my maxed out sword despite my friend telling me having knockback would be really bad for the breezes. I ignored his advice because I had a plan and he was British. I planned to work smarter, not harder. I'm not very smart though. I would turn this into like a mini game. Me in a wall hitting the breezes with their own balls. I suck at deflecting attacks, but it'll be fine, probably. Thanks to mob farm drops, I got, and of course brought, a bow with power 4, punch 2, flame, unbreaking 3, and mending that I put onto it with more than 2 double chests full of stacks of arrows and a few potions of healing. Via excessive mining and nether activity, I got a bunch of golden apples as well. I got the potions of healing because witches spawned in my EXP farm. I didn't really account for how they could do that, but I'm not gonna complain about free potions. My other tool enchantments aren't really something I feel the need to say due to them not being used for any fighting here. I'll probably make a pinned comment or reply to someone else's comment saying what the enchantments are, I don't know. You know that plan I mentioned earlier, like less than 2 minutes ago? You know the one about turning the breeze trial chamber into a minigame? Well, I tried to follow my idea, putting walls around everything so they could only go so far. The plan was to use their wind charges against them like ghasts, but instead I just ended up hitting them when they ran into me. I thought they were terrifying at first, but honestly after fighting them, they might just be my favorite mob to fight against. Throwing me around everywhere and going whoosh with my armor, I didn't really take any damages, so I had no real worries about that either. Love that. Best update ever. I genuinely love being ragdolled around like that. But even with all that fun and effort, I didn't get a trial key for the heavy core. Not a single one. I got a golden carrot for my hard work. I just want my Mace, dog. I did get the breeze rod though, halfway there. I then got assaulted by more stupid, disgusting wastes of space, otherwise known as silverfish. I got Bane of Arthropods on my axe since I just had that book lying around, so they weren't as problematic. But seeing them at all sucks. I got no heavy core from the ominous vaults I found, and I also found out my mic wasn't connected to OBS, so most of my commentary wasn't even heard. It just wasn't a great day for me. After a bit, I got back on Chunk Base and began to search for more nearby trial chambers. I found one, got no heavy core from the vaults I opened, and then had to go back for more ominous bottles. At least it was quicker to return to when I knew where it was. Hey, let's play a little game real quick. How many trial chambers do you think it took for me to get it? 3, 4, or 5? Trick question, it was just 2. 2 different trial chambers. Open this real quick. Let's see. Yes! Yes! Finally! Thought it was gonna have to go through like 7 of those trial chambers in order to get what? Yeah, heavy core. Yes, breeze rod, and where is it? Heavy core! Yes! Yes! And finally, after so incredibly long, I got the Miku Mace! I haven't felt this amount of joy in a long while. I should not be getting this much joy over this. The best part is that now I can do this! I got the Mace and Totem, so, what now? I already got good gear from my over-preparing. The netherite armor is just diamond with knockback resistance and fire immunity, so not really any priority. I'm too lazy to get it anyway. Well, I've never beaten the Ender Dragon, Wither, or Elder Guardian before, so maybe I could do that? But that's for a different video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was at least decent. If it wasn't, like the video, subscribe for more Minecraft videos, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye!